Hey, it's Kevin Dairaghi. Welcome to the Kevin Dairaghi Show. Today I'm with my special friend Jason Hudson of Red Maples Construction.
How's it going, everybody? If you guys ever need anything construction oriented, you can feel free to give us a call. The phone number is 636-206-6060. Hi, my name is Jason Hudson. I run Red Maples Construction. We specialize with investors. We do a lot of flips and make-readies and turns for the investor. One of the other things what we do is we also have an in-house team that handles third-party management. So we are very investor-friendly and investor-focused in all that we do in order to get you a better return so you can go out and buy more properties and have yourself a better return long-term.
So you're my go-to GC for all these flips that we do. How annoying is it to work with investors, myself included?
Well, Kevin, you specifically know this.
Yeah.
But no, the struggle that we often run into with investors is typically they think it should take less time and less money, and oftentimes they'll go, "Well, your price is high," and they're always about a price point. A lot of them tend to want to look for the chuck in the truck. They can do $100 a day and get a project done real cheap. The problem we have is we're then called to go back and fix the mistakes. We try to do things up front versus on the back end and get you where you need to be for past inspection early. And a lot of investors, they see that as I can't justify a price point that way, or I can't justify the financials. The other challenge that we often have with investors is, especially out-of-state investors, they want to keep their hands in it all the time. What that does is it slows down progress, keeps us off the market longer. And then by constantly changing and moving, it creates more of a struggle with being able to get to a final product that, the different municipalities will inspect and say, hey, we passed. So those are usually the biggest challenges that we find with investors is, they want to keep their hands involved with everything, or they want to do it as cheap as possible. And it's not always the best way to do it.
So the reason why you think you're good with investors is because you and your partner Dave are also investors?
We are also investors. I know we have several doors of our own under management with us because they're ours. And then we also do their turns and flips. And so we see the ins and outs. We know what a terrible renter will do to a place and how bad it can get. And we know what good renters can do. And so we're very familiar with that. And we do try to work with investors on their budgets and what they have in order to get things to the point where, our biggest priorities are clean, safe, and functional. Sometimes you don't have the budget to go with the granite countertops, but we can at least get you something that is within your budget and budget friendly for what you have. So we do try to work with our investors that way.
So do you do single families, multifamilies?
We do all of it. So we specialize kind of the small multifamily. We try to typically stay within like that 75 doors or less in one location. It just depends on the situation, but we can take on all of it. I know we had a 75 unit that we took over. We took over management as well as the construction. We ended up turning that around to where when the gentleman finally sold that property, it was the most profitable he'd ever had on that property. So we just try to get the quality up in the construction side as well as handle the management and get rid of a lot of the rough tenants and see if we can get somebody better in. One of the biggest challenges with the construction field in and of itself is the constant change and flux of between the materials, the market, what you have, what you don't have. And what ends up happening is investors sometimes will get to a point where they are still working from 15, 20 years ago and things have really changed. It's like, and it's not just price. You used to have gold, everything. Now you've got satin nickels and we're starting to see another shift. It's going from the gray walls. We're starting to shift from the gray walls. We're getting something a little different. So there's always that market shift. And a lot of times investors don't notice that. They still stay stuck in their old way. And so one of the things that we try to do on our end is to educate the investor on the best way to handle their investments for longer term, money's in their pocket and they can go invest more. But a lot of times they're not in the field every day to see the construction and what it actually takes. And so we try to educate them along the way and then prove it at the end. One of the biggest things that we try to bring to investors, and we've been able to have a proven track record of it, is, investors, when they get a property they're going to hold and they're going to put renter in it, the worst thing that they can have is they're calling me or my company within the first couple months going, hey, we need to fix this. Hey, we need to fix that. And so one of the things that we try to do is we get it to where you don't see our face for 12 to 18 months. And we've been able to have a proven track record for that. So once we get the scope lined out and once we get everything together, you won't look at us for a long period of time. So that's my hope. I don't want you to have to call me back because if you're not calling me, you're making more money. You're going to buy another deal that I get to help you with.
On that unit.
On in unit. No, I'm just kidding. On that unit. Yes.
So why do you sponsor the Kevin Dairaghi Show?
Well, one of the biggest reasons is I listened to this crazy guy named Kevin at a conference. I really loved what he had to say, and his mentality around investing was very personal based. It was very it wasn't a it's all in it for the money. It was a mission field is what he saw. And so, of course, I went in and I had to talk to the guy and figure out what I could do to help him. And in the process, he turned around and ended up helping me in a lot of other areas of life. And then we ended up partnering together. But the reason I sponsor that is because of the guy himself more than anything else.